Everyone, welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I'm your host, Asia the Bird. To have a very special guest with me today, she's a nail educator and a nail artist. Please welcome Kreations by Kiki. Hello, Kiki, and welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
So glad to have you. Now, I want to go ahead and get started with this interview by asking, where are you from and how did you get started in the nail industry?
It's crazy because when I saw this question, I was like, well, what do you mean? Where was I born? Where was I raised? I don't know. But I am based in Durham, North Carolina, right beside Raleigh. And I actually got started in this industry, not even trying to actually. I never had any plans to be. I didn't even have any plans to do anything, honestly. But I used to get my nails done in high school and tell them, or tell whoever was doing my nails at the time, that I wanted a design that they hadn't done before. I wanted to be different. I wanted to be the unicorn that I am every day of my life. I would go to school thereafter, and then, a few girls would come and be like, oh my gosh, look, we're twins. We have the same design. And I would be like, I don't like that. So I actually started painting and designing my own nails. I would go get them done at my local nail salon, and then I would just leave them bare. I go home, and then with some acrylic paint and some regular polish, I was slapping them things up there, the lines and the dots and the designs and stuff. And I would go to high school, and it actually became my hustle, one of my hustles. I was known as the girl with the candy and the snacks, and the girl that you can go to get your nails painted on after school in the cafeteria, in photography class, not doing what we say you're supposed to be doing, but that was my school. But after that, my grandmother came to me and was like, well, why don't you go to school and get all the money, not half the money, by just doing design? So we went and found a local nail school, a Vietnamese nail school called Saigon Beauty College. They had just opened up, and they had a special going for the nail tech program for $1,000 flat. My grandma put the whole thing down and said, here, this is for you. And that just kind of got the ball rolling. Everything thereafter was just opportunities and blessings that fell into my lap and I grabbed hold of.
That's really, really cool. Now, who would you consider to be like your favorite nail artist?
Also a hard question. It's so hard for me to pick favorite anything. If you ask me my favorite color, I couldn't choose between rainbow or black. It's really hard. And I want to say that I love a lot of different nail artists for different things right now, because I am trying to get back into drawing my characters and, doing a little more artistic and detailed, fine work. I want to say a few of my favorites now are Helen. I don't remember what her is, Helen Nail or something like that. Vivian, I love her and her whole team at Pamper Nail Gallery. They are awesome. Lana, I think she is at Pamper Nail Gallery too. Nails by Dev, Dallas Alexia. I also love people who really enjoy being themselves, and that you can really see that through their art. No matter if their name is tagged or if anybody's mentioned them, I can tell that they produce that set because it just follows along with their aesthetic. And there's just so many. There's so many nail techs that have been in the industry before I have. There's so many nail techs that have come in after me that are awesome. And I just see more and more every day that I love.
That's really, really amazing. Yeah. I have plenty of people that I'm inspired by, like Kanisha, the editorial nail,
Yes. Oh my gosh. And Livette Beauty Asylum. I love her. Oh my God. I love her so much.
Yeah, Livette is her stuff is amazing.
Yes, but I love also Poochie and Amnesty Nails for their cleanliness and their detail work. It's just so many areas of love that, go all day. This whole interview could be us saying, who we love in what category, because it's just so much.
Yeah. It's so many people to, take inspiration from. I know exactly, definitely what you're saying. Now, I want to get into, in terms of your nail art style, how could you describe your nail art style? What are some things you'd like to add to your work that makes it so unique?
Well, I would say that without me even trying, I'm pretty much known for very colorful, freestyle, encapsulated designs. I would say that I have a very eclectic style
Mm-hmm.
that is kind of all over the place. Like I don't really feel like I can be down, like put in a box of like one style. I try to do the best that I can do with whatever is placed in front of me, or with whatever products I have. I do my best to I do a lot of mixed media. That is what I do a lot of. Like I throw a lot of everything I can find. Let's throw it in there. Let's make it this one big, beautiful, grand piece. I just, man, yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah. That's the thing, because I like asking that question because everybody's there again. Nail style is very different, so that's why I like asking that question. But I definitely want to switch gears and talk about your salon. So, what has been your whole experience like opening up your own nail salon?
Well, like I mentioned before, everything's kind of just been kind of falling into my lap per se. I never had a intention or vision of opening a nail salon. I've never really had a vision on doing anything that I'm doing now. I've kind of just been rolling with the punches, adapting to certain situations. Having my nail salon now, I have nine stations. I offer booth rent and commission, but I'm actually, like I said, because I have not planned this out, I've been learning hard lessons, the hard way. And I'm trying to juggle not becoming overwhelmed with that, and also me still being the nail artist that I am, and my own personal, Kreations by Kiki, which is different from Tips and Needles, my shop. And I try to make sure that it is a definite difference between those two. So I'm actually in the gears of trying to figure out like what I want to do next with it. Like, do I want to keep it open? Because it's really more so to help other upcoming nail techs and help other nail artists, get their thing in the industry, in their new careers. I do a lot of teaching. It's actually mandatory in my shop for you to be trained by me, for us to train together, so that my shop holds a standard. Because it is based off of, me, and nail techs come, nail techs go, but it's always going to be Tips and Needles is going to be connected to Kreations by Kiki. So I have to make sure that, certain things are done a certain way. And like I said, just, I'm trying to figure it out as I go. But owning it, I would say owning it is very fulfilling. I can say that. The positive parts, people who come in and are really passionate and really have a love, like myself, for the industry and for, servicing their clients and making them feel comfortable. It's just those dips, those bad parts that nobody really talks about, it's those,
right.
That's, kind of hitting me. So like I say, I want to still be a platform, a stepping stone, if you will, not a doormat, but a stepping stone, for people to basically give them what I didn't get. Because when I started in this industry, 10, 15 years ago, nobody was really, there was not really any camaraderie. There was a lot of gatekeeping, nobody really wanted to help each other. Also really a lot of Black nail techs then either. So, it was a lot things, stacked on top of each other that were kind of working against me. So I know that I could be a lot farther now if I had the help than, starting off. So it does something for my little unicorn heart to, bring in these people and teach and help and, help them kind of avoid the missteps and the speed bumps, like help them navigate those easily or easier than I did. So I don't want to lose that. There's another I teach as well. I don't want to lose that because that does something for me. That's kind of part of my self-care a little bit. But I'm just trying to figure out how I can do that effectively without being drained, without pouring too much out of my cup, without getting something poured in return.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Now I want to shift gears. And speaking of education, you also have your nail boot camp. So tell us about that and what courses you offer.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love offering specifically my Kreations acrylic boot camp, my 2-day ones. And I'm actually about to start doing 3 days. And then I'm thinking of doing like a boot camp retreat, like just like a week long.
Mhm.
Um, I do my best to embody what I want to see, like the change I want to see in the nail industry. So
Mhm.
specifically education, right? I myself, I still go to classes, but in the span of my career, I have been to many of classes, taken many of private courses, continuing education, things like that. And,
Mhm.
I've just kind of noticed pros and cons. Let's just say that, um, what would what would make it better for me to have learned the best in that situation. So
Right.
as I offer my classes nowadays, or even not even nowadays, I've been doing classes for years at this point, but starting my classes off, I just wanted to offer what I would have liked to be a part of.
Mhm.
Um, and so you get, oh my gosh, you get a passionate, just joyful, really just the joy of teaching and showing people, my techniques and things like that. Like that really comes across not only in my classes, but I go live a lot on all of my social medias. I'm very open and transparent about, my business and the way I do everything, honestly. And that comes through a lot more in my classes. Being able to see me, right in front of your face, and me being able to like literally hold your hand and walk you through exactly what I'm explaining. Um, so you get all of that. I have my classes catered. One of the things I didn't like about the classes I've taken in the past is that either food was not offered or given, and you had to leave from the location and come back, or the food that was offered was like Domino's or like, little sandwiches and chips, bagged chips. And I just feel like if I'm paying a certain amount of money, I want to feel like, you really put a little more effort into this. So all of my classes, breakfast and lunches, are catered specifically to each person in that class. So say I have a vegan, say I have a pescatarian, they will all get exactly what fits them. You know what I'm saying? I really make sure, even when you go to my website and register, one of the prompts you have to answer before you actually pay for the deposit for the class is, your food allergies. I really want to make sure that you feel like this, however many people's in the class, whatever the class subject is, that you came for what you bought, and
Right.
that you retain and can use to build your career, So I offer notebooks, I offer big kits that you can literally go and start practicing everything we practice directly. We do one-on-ones, there's group sessions. I literally work on everybody's hands so that everybody can feel the pressure, the angles, the direction. Like I'm very detailed, very,
Right.
very.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's very important, to be very detailed, to be very in depth. And that's what's missing within like the beauty industry in terms of education, especially state board, because they only teach you like the basics. So like for me, I'm a licensed cosmetologist. So, I took cosmetology classes in high school, and before I went to college, I got my cosmetology license. But even before and after taking those courses, I had to learn a lot of stuff on my own. So it's really cool to see that you're, taking, a step in terms of like, hey, I'll show you how to do, these things, how to work with acrylic, how to encapsulate, how to, understand nail prep. Those things are important.
I really feel like, and how I explain it to, because I get asked this question a lot, is school important? Or people who've been to school or just fresh out of school saying, I don't feel like they teach me anything about nails. And, what I say to my students and, people who just ask me in general is, I equate nail school to like driver's ed, or like,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like driver's ed teaches you the basics of how to drive, but just because, and how to pass your driver's ed test, which gives you your permit, which gets you license, whatever. But just because you do all those things and you hit all those requirements does not mean that you can drive
Right.
after having your license. It's going to come with, more experience and things like that. I equate that to nail school because and nail school is so important. Like I really is so adamant. Just want to stress how important nail school is, because it is teaching you basically the do's and the don'ts of being a nail tech, the history, the chemistry, sanitation, diseases and disorders, the things we can and cannot touch. What is our ministry? That's what nail school is. It teaches us our ministry, in this business. And a lot of people go thinking that they're going to learn how to encapsulate, they're going to learn how to use the e-file, and they're going to learn all these things that actually come with more salon ready courses, like the ones that I offer. And even myself, because I work with local nail schools, I go and I travel. On top of me traveling, offering my own classes, I also travel and visit other nail schools and offer I would call them like product demos, but it's like a mini version of my boot camp in like a few hours. We go through start to finish of a full set. I show them whatever designs they want to see, giving them that the fire that they want. You know what I'm saying? The thing that they want that's going to make them feel like, oh, okay, this is something I can go practice. I can go get this down pat. So I do think schools should offer more things like that. Working with nail artists like myself, having them come in and doing things like that to get the nail techs more excited about, and feeling like this is worth me coming here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I do think that is definitely a change that could be pushed more in as far as nail education goes. But also just having everybody be knowledgeable of the difference of the two. You know what I'm saying? How nail school is important. You do need that as your base, but continuing education and, expanding your knowledge base and continuing not feeling like there's a ceiling to your learning is important as well. Like I said, I teach classes, but I also still take classes myself.
Yeah, I like how you mentioned like the chemistry, of the nail aspect within the nail industry, because I remember it was a panel discussion with you, MJ Nails, Kirsty Meek, and Tamika from Custom Tea, and you guys talked about like with the different products and chemicals, especially within acrylic, how MMA that's an illegal product or chemical, so if you could talk more about that, that'd be great.
Yes, so that was an awesome panel with Kirsty and Tamika, and oh my gosh, she's slipping. What? Oh, her name slipped.
Yeah,
my other
nails.
It's gonna come to me later. But that was an awesome panel altogether, and I think it was very, very important for people to see, because that is not as common knowledge. Because even myself coming up in the industry, my first couple of nail salons, they were using MMA, because it is cheaper to buy and push out in chop shops. I try to say chop shops and not try to put that on a certain demographic. But so I'm very aware of my personal experiences with it. And then just Googling MMA nails can just pull up a whole plethora of reasons why you should not use it on your clients. But knowing that the chemistry of MMA, which is methyl methacrylate, versus EMA, which is what is safe and legal for us to use, which is ethyl methacrylate, and educating your clients. A big reason why I've built my clientele is being very open and transparent with things like that to my clients, not making them feel like, so say I get a client that comes in and we do a soak off for a full set with me. If I notice it's MMA, I'll tell them without saying, hey, don't go there, or hey, you can only come to me. I'll just say, hey, you just want to be careful when you see these certain things, and these are certain things you want to look out for when you go to certain nail shops, especially what I like to say, quantity over quality shops. Is, certain smells, certain looks, ask to see certain containers, look for certain words. And, so you can kind of avoid this, because this can be detrimental to your health. People don't know that MMA is used in, bulletproof glass, Kevlar, foam cement. They use it for dental work. You know what I'm saying? And one of the common misconceptions, which is one of the things I said during that same interview, is An argument that comes about when you say things like that is, well, if it's safe to go in our mouth, why can't we put it on our hands? And to refute that is the curing process is what's not safe for us. You know what I'm saying? So when they do that stuff in your mouth, they cure it outside of your mouth, and then it's fully cured. The final product is put inside of your mouth. To use it on our fingers, the curing process happens on your hand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I guess people kind of think, okay, well, it's my nail plate. It's not my actual skin, but that still counts. You could have micro cuts, you have micro lesions, you have the smallest little opening, and then you have all of that in your bloodstream, and then you're looking at allergies, you're looking at you're looking at certain infections. You know, you possibly could lose that finger. You know, worst case scenario, you just want to be careful with it. So being very open, knowing that yourself as a nail tech, and being open with your clientele, you know, past, present, future, whoever, will definitely not only make you look very knowledgeable and very like you are educated in what you're saying and what you're doing, but it is a good way to build your clientele. I know that wasn't the question, but you know, it falls in there too.
But I totally understand where you're coming from, because I think like with acrylic in general, I think another thing we should talk about is ventilation, how important that is, especially, you know, with certain salons, like, you know, you can, you know, smell that heavy smell of that monomer. And, you know, even with that, you know, it can cause allergies, or, you know, because we have to understand, like, that's a very strong smell. It can be toxic too if you don't have a lot of ventilation.
I can't even walk past the door, like an open door of a nail salon that uses MMA, because it's like a wall of fumes that you just kind of smack into. And a lot of people, when they come to my nail salon, they're like, oh my gosh, it doesn't smell like nails in here. I'm just like, well, yeah, it does, but you're just used to a much more pungent, much more like sticky and foggy smell. So it's very interesting to see, you know, how many clients are unaware of any of that, really.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think another thing too also is understanding the safety of the clients, you know, understanding blood spill, like how you said, safety and sanitation, that's very important too. And I think that's something within like State Board, I think they could have elaborated on that a bit more.
Yes. Well, yes. I you know, State Board was years ago for me. But I definitely think just based off of, you know, the people that I've come in contact with that have just, you know, taken their State Board or just fresh out of school, who maybe are a little hesitant still about certain things, or working on certain things, or knowing what you can and can't work on. So I would definitely agree with that. There are a lot of things in nail school, like I said, that they could kind of, like, they could just drop their teaching of, you know, the little one chapter you get of the e-file and the one chapter you get of the acrylic, and pass that over to people like me and extend the, you know,
Right.
blood subject and the diseases and disorders and, you know, things like that. So yeah, that's a great idea, actually.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And also, now, how could you describe like how big the nail community is where you live?
Well, I would say, especially after COVID, there's been a lot of COVID, you know, quarantine born nail techs, or I guess people have got the time to actually like play around with doing it more seriously. Yeah, that's the way I want to say that. But I mean, I would say the nail community here is pretty much like the nail community anywhere. You know, I would equate it in the most loving way possible to high school. No joke. I would equate it to high school because, you know, you have your groups of people who kind of stay to themselves.
Right.
You know, they go outside of their comfort zone. And then you have, you know, the other groups of people who are very open and friendly with everybody. And then you have, you know, the negative group of people who just, you know, make it their business to be negative. So I feel like really just life in general, but the nail community is a beautiful, amazing, wonderful, petty, catty place to be. What I've learned, because actually something else, if we like revert right back to, you know, how I started my salon, I Tips and Needles was a joint venture between me and a friend who was a tattoo artist. And we created a nail and tattoo studio, hence Tips and Needles.
Right.
And during that time, I definitely got a good view of the tattoo industry. And I would say that every industry is the same amount of, you know, amazing, catty, shady awesomeness that, you know, it is. And it's really more about how you as an individual navigate yourself, you know, because you could fall on either line, you know. It could be one thing you do, it could be a few things you do, but I just feel like however you as an individual move is how you're going to view the nail community itself, if that makes sense, you know? So I try to move with genuine and pure intentions, you know what I'm saying? Very open and honest, very transparent, but at the same time being very blunt and very, like I stand on what my policies and my guidelines, like I stand on everything that I know what I'm saying? At the same time as keeping personal and business things to myself. Like for an example, I don't speak on on any of my platforms anything about politics or, you know, racial issues or anything that can kind of be misconstrued or taken and ran with and looked at in a negative light. Like I try to stay away from things like that and only keep a positive, you know, platform.
Right.
For people, because me personally, sometimes I don't want to see a lot of things that people are interested in talking about at the moment. Because, you know, what we love on earth is drama. Drama is what keeps, you know, the blogs and
right.
Love and Hip Hop, VH1, you know, it's the drama that keeps people's blood boiling. And while I'll be entertained by it, I don't want to partake in it because I don't want to be viewed as, oh, this is where she is in, you know, in where she's at. So I try to stay around people who embody that same fashion, that same. So I can say that, you know, my view of the nail industry is pretty good, you know, because I try to keep going along that good line. But I have had experiences and instances with people who are on the other side of that line that have not been so satisfactory. But I've said before, I've just taken those as lessons learned and try to move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? I may know to not speak on certain things, or I may know to not engage in certain activities or go to certain places. Not saying, you know, I'm hiding or anything like that, but I just know that it's not going to be conducive to what I need to have happen for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I would never, the same reason I'm not involved in any, you know, political, racial, anything like that. I also stay away from, you know, drama, like let's say local hometown drama. Even if my name is running around in it, you're not seeing me engage or partake in it because that's not the view I want my audience to see. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I need to portray, not only for my audience and my platform, but for my daughter. I have an 11-year-old daughter that I actually got pregnant with in nail school. That's how I know how long I've been licensed. But yes, I try to think, okay, is this something that I can be proud of later if and when my daughter finds it and reads it and sees it? Or is it something that I would want my daughter to do herself, you know? So I just, you know, I live by putting good into the world so that I may get good in return. And that's just, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that wholeheartedly. Now I want to definitely get into in terms of your product line called Kreations by Kiki. Like, how did that come about?
Yes. Well, it actually started just with acrylic brushes. Poochie, when I did find her in my nail career, I like kind of latched on to her. If you ask her, she'd be like, "No, I'm not her mentor," but I would call her my mentor. I love her with all of my heart and my soul. But she actually helped me start out my product line. It started out with some acrylic brushes, and that started because I actually got into a really bad car accident, December 2018, where I shattered my leg and I broke my right wrist, which is my dominant hand. So I spent like a month in the hospital, had a couple of surgeries, and it was like a year of rehabilitation to learn how to re-walk and, just live regular life. So during that time, I needed some form of revenue, coming in. And at that point, I was doing my classes. I was traveling the country. I had even taken, it was like my 7th year. I was working as a cocktail waitress at my local nightclubs in the city to kind of help cross promote myself and kind of break myself out of this like introvert that I naturally am, and getting myself comfortable to talk to people, deal with people.
Right.
But so going from all that to a complete halt from my accident, I needed something. So, she helped me out and we started my brush line. And from there, small things were added on, like small, like nail supplies, things like that. And then I was actually working as an influencer for a few brands. And I started noticing that I wasn't loving them like I used to. Right. So I wanted to find something. Right. And then me going live a lot on my platforms and stuff like that, people were constantly asking me, where'd you get this? Where'd you get that? And I was sending people to people that I was, working with and stuff like that. And that's great. It's amazing. And I'm just sitting here thinking like, dang, I could be sending people to myself. Like I could be,
Right.
yeah, I could be the supplier, at the same time. So I was like, well, let me search around and, see about starting my own thing. So there's many different ways that you could start your own product line. The way that I chose was to find a bulk supplier of my products and then kind of mix and coordinate and do everything myself, like make them the unique products that they are. So I scoured the internet. I asked people don't really want to help on that part, but I asked many people as I could. I did a lot of research. I got a lot of samples, and I was really working to figure out what I like the best, because I figured that I can sell what I use and what I love the most, because I can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I can show it. I feel my love through this brushstroke. You know what I'm saying? As you're watching me do it. So I finally found something, and I've just kind of ran with it. Now, one of my main policies, as a nail artist myself, is no duplication. I will not replicate. I will only create stuff. So my clients, especially my regulars, they know not to bring me a picture, not even of my own stuff. Like, we got to come up with something that fits you, Right. Play off my client's energy and their aura, and their nails literally match them exactly without even them coming in knowing what they wanted. So, I forgot what we were talking about.
Yeah, we were just talking about how like the product line got started.
Oh, period. Yes. So that's what I was saying. That was my main thing, was notification. So when I started my product line, I was like, okay, I'm going to make these like one-offs. Like, we are going to make them limited time, limited edition. You got to get it. If you want it, you better get it, because it ain't coming back. But man, people have been bullying me to bring stuff back. So now I got to figure out how I'm going to do everything. Because one thing that I will say that I've noticed with other product owners is, once you start your product line and it becomes a popular thing, they really move away from being a nail tech themselves. And I'm not ready to stop doing nails myself. So I have to find a good balance between, offering and having these products available for other people at the rate that they're trying to buy them, while at the same time continuing to offer my services as a nail tech to my clients. So that's been my struggle. the struggle of this year and last year has been balance. Got to figure out how to balance all this stuff together so we're not feeling like we're giving 20% to everything instead of 100%.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, most definitely. Now, what's your whole take and perspective on like the importance of pricing, and how does one price like their worth and their value in terms of nail services?
I would say this is also a question I get a lot. That pricing can be based off a lot of different things, your location, your competition. But I want to say what is the biggest thing is probably your skill level. Not even the length of time you've worked as what you are, because you can be, I call them baby. You can be a baby tech and be as bomb somebody who's been doing nails for 5-10 years, depending on, passion is. But I think your skill level is definitely the biggest thing that plays into that. Also, the environment that you're giving your clients while getting their service done. Your roster, like I can say that my prices start at $100 to get a short one color full set. Not saying many people come in and get short one color full sets, but to get a short one color full set in my chair is $100 flat. But it is that price because of my knowledge and my skill level, on doing what I'm doing. The environment that I've created, your comfort for my clients' comfort. So we have TVs, we have music, we have, LED lights, we offer wine and drinks and, just giving kind of add-ons as well with it. Right. The techniques that are in my services. So I offer custom cuticle work on all of my clients. Like you're literally a kind of, let's say halfway Russian manicure in my chair, and I don't give them an option. Like it's just in the price. That's just what it is. Also, my longevity, my retention, my nails on my clients last between 3 to 4 to 5 weeks, depending on what the client's doing at the time, versus having to go to, a chop shop and they're looking like they need to fill in before you walk out the door, and you're coming back with 6, 7, 8 repairs, and you're really paying about the same price. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So offering all those things, as well as, like I said, my own roster. So even though I don't like to say like I am a celebrity nail tech, I just feel like I don't know. I don't know if I feel like that's a little braggy. But I wouldn't call myself a celebrity nail tech, but I have done celebrities' nails. So when that's happened, I've upped my price a little bit, maybe $5. But these hands have touched Grammy nominated hands, and I need you to put some respect, or me working as lead nail tech for New York Fashion Week, I'm comfortable charging what I charge because nobody else in my city can say that they've been the lead nail tech for New York Fashion Week, 6 seasons running, not to brag or nothing like that. But it's certain things that set me apart from my own intentions, from my own movements in this nail industry, me being a platform artist, me, traveling and teaching classes, and me being this, wanted kind of entity, so yes, but did I always have my prices this way? No. Mm-hmm. We started off on the free, we started off on the let me practice on you, sis. Let me just get you want to bring a friend, you can get $20 off. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like we started from the ground up because having that, like having people willing to come in and just, but being open about it. I'm not going to say, hey, no, come in. I'm the best. No, I'm new. I need to practice. Can I practice on you for the free or for the half price or just for the price of my products or whatever? You just need to tip, whatever, but just being humbled enough to know that, you can't come out blazing, like guns blazing, you got to start small, like start with a little pebble. You got a little pebble come out of nail school. You're the pebble, you start rolling down, and the more it rolls, now we become this big old rock. Now we become this big old, now we get avalanche. You know what I'm saying? Now we at it, you know, but just everybody, especially coming in now, I do get a few people who feel like, you know, it's an overnight thing, or this can just happen, you know, after one viral show. You know what I'm saying? And it's very misleading, especially like for social media today, because that is what's happening a lot of the times. You know, it is one video or something crazy that's having people be seen and blow up and stuff like that. But that's not, I would equate that to like, you know, winning the lottery a little bit, or, you know, going pro, you know, as a sports player, you know, something like that. Like, yes, it happens, but is it going to happen? Like, you shouldn't bank on it happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I recommend, you know, the people, and this goes for every business, you know, to set yourself up, like set the steps up that you're going to take to get to where you want to be. Even if you don't want to be what you are offering now. So for example, say I don't offer pedicure services myself. I offer it in my shop. But when I started, I was doing feet. I was doing a lot of feet. Mm-hmm. Yep, I was doing a lot of feet. Didn't like it, didn't love it at all, but I needed to do it to get that experience, to get that, you know what I'm saying, get myself comfortable with offering it, with doing it. But once I started, you know, coming into my own and figuring that, okay, well, I can raise my prices over here and kind of cut this other service out, so I don't have to do that anymore. Right. But it is not to say I didn't come out straight saying I'm not touching nobody's feet. Like, that's just not happening. You know, I see a lot of nail techs now who are saying, you know, they don't do fill-ins, they don't do soak-offs, you know, they don't do feet, which is, you know, okay, all right, you know, whatever's clever, Trevor, you know, that's fine. That's fine. Right. But, you know, you can't come out fresh, say all that, and think that you're going to build your clientele, especially as fast as overnight, if you think it's going to be that fast. You know what I'm saying? Right. Not going to work like that. You're really saying that you don't do things, especially being fresh, you're really cutting out a bunch of revenue for yourself. I tell my students, you could just pick one thing. It could be the simplest of things. It could be how you cut your cuticles. It could be how you do your prep. It could be your shaping. It could be something very like deep, like art. It could be pick one thing and beast that one lane. Make yourself known for that one thing. And that could be your ride to your clientele. You booked and busy, you know what I'm saying? And now you got to open up a shop to catch the overflow. You know what I'm saying? Right. My one thing I would say, in my area, nobody was doing encapsulations. Nobody was doing like this right here on my nails, like everything being inside the nail. Nobody was doing that. You can get the milky white. You can get that ugly little translucent color that people put bubble bath on top of, that color. Or you can get that harsh pink, the like stupid harsh pink, right? That was your option. Little air, maybe, little dot, little rhinestone. That's it. You out the door. I wanted to be different. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to offer something different so that people who seen it, oh, where'd you get that done? I got it done, Kiki. Where can I find it? Oh no, you have to go to Kiki to get this done. That's what I wanted to be known as. I wanted to be known as the girl to go to for that specific thing, right? Mm-hmm. So I started working with colored acrylics and working with glitter and throwing glitter in the nail and encapsulating with the clear, and you know what I'm saying? Just being different in that aspect. And that's what helped me build my clientele in the beginning, because you go out and say, oh my God, what color is that? Is that bubble bath? No, it's not. Mix it up right in front of my face, but she hasn't. You got to go see her to see it. Oh, so that's acrylic. Yes, it is acrylic. Well, let me go book my appointment with Kiki to get this same acrylic color. You know what I'm saying? So I started doing that, and then started becoming known for the custom sets. You will not see your nails that I did on you on anybody, not before and not after. You know what I'm saying? And people love that. Oh my gosh, this is custom to me. You will never have this ever. Right. You know what I'm saying? So just picking certain little things that made me stand out from the sea of other nail techs, the sea of other businesses. that were around me, especially like coming up.
Definitely want to switch gears and talk about in terms of like marketing. So like, what are some tips you can give for people who want to market their work? You know, because I know you mentioned about like having unique sets and, you know, that word of mouth. So what other ways that one can market their work?
Well, I gotta say this first before we get into like how to like market and stuff like that, because another thing that I tell my people who be asking me is work on your skill level first. You know what I'm saying? Work on your techniques, because that is going to market you the best without you having to do anything extra. Okay. I can help anybody, you know what I'm saying, get more people in their chair, get more people to see them on social media in real life. But if you can't meet the supply to the demand, you know what I'm saying, then it's going to work against you. Then now you're working from the negative, you know what I'm saying? Because as awesome as word of mouth can be, it can make you, but it can also break you as well.
Right.
That's the first thing I say to people who ask about, you know, how can I get more clients in my chair? How can I market myself better? Make sure that you can offer what you're saying that you're going to offer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But as far as helping, what I did personally was I found a graphic design artist. Years ago, I found him. I wanted to be like one of his models. But when I linked up with him and talked with him, he seen that I was, you know, doing my nail thing, and he actually helped me create my own thing, like create my Kreations by Kiki. So I would say find a graphic design person, you know, try to link up with them, try to have a good relationship with them, keep a good relationship with them, and like grow with them. So he's been the one who's done all of my flyers, all of my photo shoots, all of my business cards, all of my my promotions. He's literally done all of that, and that staying consistent, because it's been the same person doing it, has helped me look more professional as an overall. Which helps bring more people in. You know, the more professional that what you're putting out looks, the more eyes that's going to gravitate to, right? I would say get a lot of physical marketing tools. So stickers. There's Kreations by Kiki stickers in gas stations, on the pole, at the gas pump. They're in back stores, at the register, on the little wood thing. They're at fast food restaurants by the drive-through where you pass little things you don't hit so you don't run into the window. Stick them right. People are going to be interested. If they see it, they're going to look it up. What is that? You know what I'm saying? I've even been around like airports, you know, the mall. If you have an iPhone, airdrop your business card out to everybody who has their airdrop on. You're going to get declined, but some people are going to get it, and there's going to be eyes. You know what I'm saying? You just want to get your stuff in front of as many eyes as possible, and be okay with hearing no.
Right.
You know, when I was working as a cocktail waitress, I was literally after the club in IHOP pulling girls out the bathroom, like, girl, here's my card, babe, take it. Me, you know what I'm saying? Right. I had my nose to the grind, man. I'm telling you, I was not playing no games. I was trying to get as many people in my chair as possible, so I can get as many people out in the world with my work as possible, and have them do my marketing for me. Have them be my walking billboards, as well as having myself in my own walking billboard. I have always done, you know, the long showy hand on my non-dominant and the short baby hand on my dominant. Not only with my own life, you know, but to also, it's a cross promotion thing. Everybody doesn't like these nails. Everybody doesn't like these nails. But what if I show you these? Oh my God, that's hard. Well, look, boo, look what else I can do. Look. Baby nail, I got you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just being creative and being open and being, I want to say, as positive as possible, because it's really hard for people to be negative to somebody who's giving you so much positivity. Like, how could you hate me? Come on, friend. So, you know, just putting this happy smile on and going out and just being confident also in yourself, you know.
Right.
I could go and do the same thing I'm just saying, but if I don't sound like I'm confident in myself, that person won't be confident in me either. And that goes all the way down to having them in front of your face in your chair. If you don't look confident, your client ain't gonna be confident either, and then it's gonna throw you off. They're gonna be thrown off, and now everybody's tense, and now everybody's, you know what I'm saying, looking at details. Oh my God, it's going this way, looking at a piece of glitter right there. Like, it just makes it a tense, you know. So I'm all about avoiding problems before they become problems. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I'm so transparent, because I'm gonna let you know what's going on, what's about to happen, so that you're not surprised. You know,
Mm.
I get a nail biter in my chair, I'm saying, hey, we're gonna do this, but it's probably gonna pop off because you know you don't really got a lot of surface area on your nails. But you know what? When it pops off, come on back here. I got you. You know what I'm saying? So when it pops, if it pops off, if it don't pop off, everybody's happy. But if it pops off, that client's not like, oh my God, I just paid this money. Oh my gosh, I got ripped off. You know what I'm saying? They're already aware of what may happen and already have the contingency plan should it happen. All right, I'm about to call Kiki. Told me to hit her out. I'm gonna call Kiki. And when I say that runs across everything that I do, my shop, my clients, my life period. I like to avoid situations, or I like to solve problems before they become problems.
Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, most definitely. Now, I definitely want to ask you this question pertaining to the amount of years you've been in the nail industry. What is your whole take in terms of the evolution of the nail industry, range from the products and different aspects, especially with technology?
Oh man, how it's grown. I'm so like envious of like the nail tech, like the new nail techs now, because oh my God. There's so much more available. There's so much more, you know, opportunities and avenues and just, God, it's so open. Because like I said, when I started, it was not a lot. No. What? No. It was not a lot of anything. You know what I'm saying? If you found somebody, you really deep and dove to find this person, and that's if they're nice enough to like help you out with a question or two. You know what I'm saying? Social media wasn't a thing. Instagram had like just started.
Right.
If it was even started, I don't even think Instagram had started yet when I came out, when I started doing nails. Mm. Facebook was still like an invite only thing. You had to be in high school. You had to be in a school and invited from like, girl, social media was not a thing. And even social media itself, if we're not even talking about the products, we're not talking about the extra technology, if we're only talking about social media and how that has grown, and literally learn how to do nails or learn how to do a technique or learn how to do anything on my phone. Like, what? That wasn't what we used to do. We had to go to these people. Like, I had to go and travel to this nail tech to learn this thing at that time. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't just pop up my phone and be like, okay, let me log into this Zoom call and watch them along with other 30, 40 people and ask my questions and get them answered. You know what I'm saying? Things weren't as on hand at all. As far as the products go, gosh, let's talk about tips. Because man, listen, I had the curve, like all we had was the tips to curve down, curve down, and I was working so hard to build the acrylic up so high so I could take the curve out and make them look like this. Mm-hmm. For me to have some pre-shaped, straight, coffin, C-curved, make my life easier, please. Come on. From that and just, you know, all the nail stuff, even though there are some things that have been around for a long time, because, you know, nail art trends themselves, they recycle a lot. Right. There are certain new things like different shaped nail bits, like the cuticle bits. Like I ain't know nothing about no damn diamond. I ain't know nothing about no diamond bit, you know. But I ain't know nothing about no corundum bit. I ain't know what that was for. All I knew was carbide, you know. Mm-hmm. That's all we learned. We ain't learn about all these extra stuff. We learned about, you know, the difference of non-acid and acid, and now you have all these things in all these different colors and these chromes and these creams, and wow, builder in a bottle. Come on, builder in a bottle. That was not a thing at all. Right. What? Now I can just pop pop open this bottle, just throw some builder gel. What? Yes, because we had to use a brush and a big pot and it's just so much easier. It's so much more user friendly. Let me say that. User friendly is the word.
Mm-hmm.
Products, the technology, the accessibility to education, and just going outside of what you would normally see. Like I can pull up open my phone and watch a nail tech in the UK or watch a nail tech in Canada or in Mexico or wherever they are, and learn from them. It's amazing. Like that is truly amazing. I tell all my students all the time, like y'all are lucky. It's a lot more accessible and a lot more user friendly than it was when I started, and how that is helping nail techs to become a lot more fast track. So what took me 5, 6, 7 years, it'll take a nail tech not even one to go through. So I tell all my baby nail techs, all my students, like you guys are so lucky, and I'm so happy that I could be, a help. Happy that I can help further your success.
Right. Right, exactly. Most definitely. Now, I want to ask this question because I know you use acrylic. So have you ever tried sculpting with gel? Like what's your experience with gel possibly?
I don't use a lot of gel. I didn't know how to. It's not my favorite thing to do. I usually use liquid gel more for natural nail repairs. So if my client has cracked their natural nail plate, I'll use liquid gel to fixate that in place so I can continue to work on it. I will say that I was not confident in using gel before I got to the last nail salon I worked in. It was a Vietnamese nail salon, and they really helped me get more comfortable with using the gel, but I'm an acrylic kind of girl. Come get this powder and liquid on you.
Yeah, right, exactly. Now, what would you consider to be like your favorite nail brushes to use when it's like with acrylic or like with nail art?
Well, oh my gosh, it'd be my own. Hold on, I got it. This is my size 16 acrylic Kolinsky Kreations by Kiki brush. She's awesome. She's amazing. She's not your regular size 16. She's like a 14 and a half. She's like 15, She's not as fluffy and big as a 16, but she lets me do everything I need to do. She is firm, but she is soft. Okay. She's so nice. Let me put her back down real gently. Okay. So I would say that is my favorite brush to use, for using acrylic itself. As far as everything else, remember we talked about me not being able to pick favorites. If I showed you, let me just pull this down real quick. I have so many.
Wow. So
many nail brushes, nail art brushes. I do have more than one acrylic brush. Like this one's from Profiles Backstage. I have one from Amnesty Cosmetics. I have one from Poochie. I have a lot of brushes, but I just could not tell you my favorite because I just feel like they do the same thing.
Oh, right. Exactly.
I just feel like they all do the same thing. So it's really hard for me to choose a favorite. I'm picking based off of length and what I need to do at that specific time. So there may be certain things that I go for more than others. For example, I have a lot of liner brushes, but one that I know I go for is the HD Detailer brush from NSI Nails, because it's super tiny and it's flexible. And I haven't come across another one that's like that small and with that little minimal bristles, but still being, a little able for me to, do my swishy swashy swipes and stuff like that.
Right.
So I have come to things that I like more than others, but like I said, it just depends on what I'm doing. As far as, products and stuff go, I would love any acrylic that is a fast setting acrylic. You know what I'm saying? So I use a lot of Tammy Taylor. Tammy Taylor is actually the only the only nail brand that I've been educated in, officially. Once I found her, and remember, I didn't tell you this yet, but at the time that I was trying to be different and trying to offer my own things, that's when I found Tammy Taylor and found her colored acrylics. And, once I found that and started getting more used to what I wanted what I wanted my consistency to be for my bead ratio, we're going down to like, now I love knot polish. My own brand is kind of a point between like Tammy Taylor and knot polish as far as consistency and set time. But if I open my drawers right now, I have acrylic from everybody. Everybody. I got Valentino, I got Young Nails, I got Glam and Glitz, I got Kiera Sky, I got some acrylics, I got Profiles Backstage, I got Poochies, I have so much, like so much that it's wild. But yeah, Tammy Taylor, knot polish, and my own brand is probably gonna be my top 3 that I go for. But glitter and stuff, Profiles Backstage, Dulce Nail Sprinkles, they really got me covered on my glitters. As with everything else, I could literally go to Walmart or Michael's and go get something from out of there and cut it up. Or, I like to take inspiration from anything, from everywhere. I have so many pictures in my phone. I have folders in my phone of nature and fashion and shoes and makeup and hairstyles, and walking through the store and seeing a painting that, oh my God, I can put this on the nail. I'm gonna put this in my folder so I can come back if I'm ever stuck on doing the freestyle, because I do mostly freestyles. Like I said, I don't duplicate things. So my clients either come in with a theme, a color, or an idea, or an outfit, or something for me to base the inspiration off of, and let me kind of do what I do. So when I say I can take, I think being a good nail artist is being able to use whatever's in front of you, right? Mm-hmm. So I may like certain things, but I may not have those certain things available to me. So when I say I can go literally anywhere, as long as I got some clear, my clear acrylic and my liquid that I need and my brush, we can put anything up in your nails. Think what you want. You want some gold pieces? You want some candy? You want some cereal? You know what I'm saying? You want some cardboard? You want some money? You want some stickers? What you want? We can do anything. Which also helps build my clientele, because it's like, who else is willing to work with you so well on making sure that you have exactly what you want, while at the same time making you comfortable, making it seem like, oh, this is all about me. I'm not being rushed out the chair. I'm not just being nickeled and dimed. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it all flows together, I think.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, you did mention, working as like a lead nail tech for like Fashion Week and things like that, and especially, nails is getting big within the fashion realm. So what has been your experience, working with like designers and doing nails for like, fashion collections?
I think that it's definitely something that I never thought about doing before. I wasn't really aware of this side of the industry. So when I was introduced to it a couple of years ago, I was very taken aback. It's simpler than you would think it would be, but it's very fast paced. Like it's tense, it's hectic, and I think that's where the love is coming from. Like the fact that it is so hectic, the fact that it is so hustle and bustle.
Right.
What I offer on the daily is, no, we're going to sit here for 2.5 to 3 hours. We're going to talk about what we're doing. We're going to, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This season coming up in September, when I go, will actually be my first season working where we're actually like designing press ons and using crystals and stuff like that. But for past seasons, it's been more, the designers have their collection and they choose a nail color, and me as the lead and the nail team, we're just literally doing polish changes of this color and changing the color to the next designer's colors from the next show. You know what I'm saying? So it's not as creative, I would say, as you would hope, but the experience is still worth it, I would say. The networking is amazing. I was talking and networking with people that I never would have met being anywhere that I normally would have been, mm-hmm. Design Argentina and Mexico and Puerto Rico, and other beauty specialists, makeup artists and hairstylists who, have salons. So me personally, when I go, I network with other beauty specialists or salon owners so that I have places to go give future classes, So I would definitely say you go and you make it the experience that you want. Because if you go and you think, you know, you're going to walk by Cardi B, you know, and Nicki Minaj down the street, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to be too happy, you know, with with not seeing them, but going in knowing that it is a networking opportunity, that it is something to expand your base in this nail industry in your career, you know, going in with a good mindset is definitely, I would definitely recommend it. Definitely recommend it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Now, how do you balance like with being a nail tech in like everyday life? Like, how do you find that balance?
Remember, we're working on that. we are working on that. I'm working on being, what all am I? A product owner, a nail salon owner, a nail artist myself, a mom. I'm working on being a homeowner. Like, it's so much.
Mm-hmm.
And just being like the main proprietor, you know, of the business, the many hats that you have to wear, you know, I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job, you know, but like I said, rolling with these punches that have been coming and trying to navigate and move around and move accordingly. I'm still working on figuring that out. So, you know, if you got an answer for me, I want to hear yours, girl, because I'm working on it, but I'm, you know, adding more self-care definitely has helped with that. You know, I've entered into therapy. I've been in therapy for like a year now. So that's definitely helped. Trying to take days where I'm not working, even though it doesn't really work because you're just doing so much. It's like, I may not actually be doing a client, but now I'm answering messages and now I'm fulfilling orders. And now I'm, you know, it's just so much. And then I would also say something that makes that troublesome is being able to like trust people, because wow, I've had those experiences too, where, you know, people will come in and appear to be trustworthy or appear to be like you're on your team, but really only be for self. And, you know, I've taken L's and, you know, I've had things, you know, just, Lord, so much. So like I said, I'm trying to balance the good with the bad. I'm trying to balance the businesses with the other businesses. I'm trying to balance personal and work life. I'm just trying to balance. Like, I'm trying to balance the world. That's what it feels like. That is what it feels like. But I mean, I would not want to trade it for working for anybody else. So I'm just going to keep moving forward, you know, figure out what the next step is, you know, what I can continue to do, what I need to, you know, kind of pull my fingers up out of a little bit, so that I can make sure that I am still like that Kiea, not Kreations by Kiki, but that Kiea as a person is still okay. That's another thing I've learned is that, you know, once you become this business, once you become this entity, this influencer, this brand, you as a person, you don't really matter. You matter to certain people, you know, your people, you do. But as a whole, people see the business. They don't really see the person behind it. They don't see the late nights. They don't see the tears. They don't see the negative stuff. They don't see the nothing on the flip side. You know what I'm saying? All everybody sees is the accomplishments, the successes. Even if you yourself don't feel like it's a success, like people look at it as that. And I guess it takes the humanity away from you a little bit, you know, because they expect you to always be this machine, to always be this, you know, this routine machine, this moving part that's just gonna always show up on time and always have their stuff together and always do this and always do that. And when we sort of that, people really don't know how to take that sometimes, you know? So I think just having a little more empathy for others in general, you know, as well as for yourself can definitely help that a lot. Yeah, but yeah, we're working on it. solid Girl Scout effort. I promise.
Yeah, but I definitely, totally understand wholeheartedly, because mental health is very important. And like how you said, they don't see like the shortcomings and the struggles and, the times that, whether we're content creators or influencers or what have you, we cry and, we go through mental struggles. And I think that's very important to really highlight mental health. And I think that's very important to take care of yourself. That's very important.
Yes, definitely hard. And I will say doing so many things is definitely hard, because that's another thing that I'm struggling with, is trying to find time for me to say, okay, stop worrying about all these other things that you feel like you have to worry about, and worry about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
Because even me, like earlier when I said like helping others is my self-care, that's still not me worrying about myself. That's me still including others. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard for me to kind of sit myself down and be like, okay, just chill, like
Right.
just be still, like peace, be still. We're working on it though. We are working on it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Now I want to talk about because you did tell me about you going to Premier Orlando. How was that?
It was fun. I love going to Premier Orlando. It is such like a full circle thing for me, because when I started and I like first learned about it years ago, I was going as a baby. Like I was going as a break-in into this industry. I was going to see these products and meet these people. And you know what I'm saying? That it started from there, and then I will continue to go, but my intention changed.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've been in this for a little bit, and I found products that I love, and I see myself wanting to work with these companies in the future. So I want to make it my business to go and meet the brands, the heads of these companies that I love so much, like Kiea Taylor and Profiles Backstage and Bio Seaweed Gel and Not Polish. I want to meet these people face to face so they can put a face to my business, right?
Right.
And going from there to, from there, I became, brand ambassadors and influencers for these same companies, which is amazing. And then now going back and working for some of these same companies, working in their booth, being a featured special nail artist, special nail guest, and demoer. It's just, gosh, like I used to come here and I would fangirl, or, I would fan over the people I see. And now people come and fangirl over me. And it's just, it does something for my little heart. Let me tell you. Oh my goodness. I love it so much. And they really make me feel something awesome. I can't even put into words how that makes me feel for people to come be like, oh my gosh, it's Kiki. Like, oh my gosh, can I take your picture? Can you take a picture with me? Like, I'm so happy to meet you. I just be like, girl, I am nobody. Like, what is she talking about? Right. I'm special, girl. But they really be making me feel like I am somebody so special, and I love it. I love it so much. Mm.
Yeah, that's really amazing. Now, last but not least, where can people find you on social media, and how can people support your work in your business?
I am everywhere. Kreations by Kiki with a K, K-I-K-I. Do not K-E me. But Kreations by Kiki on TikTok, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook. Lord, I have Snapchat. Everything can actually be found in my link tree, which is linked in every bio on every single platform. I'm very easily found. Come find me, come follow me, come check me out, come talk to me on my lives. I go live so often during my work days. You learn about my clients, learn about my business, learn about me and my techniques and things like that. I'm very open and honest and transparent, like I said before. And the unicorn that I am just flows out of every screen. And just come get with Mother Unicorn. Come let me shower this glitter all over you.
That's really, really cool. Well, thank you so much, Kiki, for jumping on the show. Your work is absolutely incredible. You're so colorful. I love your spirit. It's very, very vibrant. Just thank you so much for spreading your knowledge and your story. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Asia. I had a great, great time, and I hope that we could do this again at some point very soon.
Yeah, sure. Most definitely. Well, take care. Bye-bye.
You love. Bye.
Bye-bye. Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also follow me on my social media platforms and visit my website, ASIATHABIRD.com, and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care and stay beautiful.